Dear students of 3rd standard, let us start with your English syllabus. Okay, before going to the lessons, I just want to ask you a few questions. Do you all like stories, children? Yes, I know all of you like stories. So when it comes to stories, you all know you have seen many stories on TV or computer, or maybe your parents or grandparents might have told you many stories. So when it comes to stories and when it is related to children, you have Panchatantra stories, which you can call as fables. Fables means you will have animal characters and also you will have a moral in that. You have learnt or you have listened or you might have read many Panchatantra stories even in the school in your previous year's lessons, or also when you have your movie period or video period, you might have seen many stories. Very known stories you can also take as the Lion and the Mouse, then your Thirsty Crow. There are many. In the same way, you all like the fairy tales also, isn't it? What is this fairy tales? You again have animal characters, but it will be full of magical aspects which you really love. So these are also a type, this is also a type of stories. Other than that, you also have stories regarding the gods and the goddesses. So that they are called as mythological stories. So here you get to listen about the stories of the god or the goddesses. So these are few types of stories your parents might have told you, or your teachers might have told you, or you might have listened on TV, or you might have read it. Now you have a story here which is very interesting. You have animal characters, but it is not called as a fable because you don't have any moral here. And one more thing is, it is just a imagination. It is just a imagination, and you enjoy this lesson because you have lots of pictures. How many of them read comics? How many of them have comics at home? If you have comics, you might have seen in those books, you have big pictures and the lines are given below or above the pictures. So this lesson is also in the same way, where you have lots of pictures, and by observing the pictures itself, you can enjoy that story and you can also understand. So let us start with this beautiful story, and it will be really a enjoyment to all, and you also observe the pictures there. How this lesson is taken in a form of a story, and the animal characters are speaking to each other, and see the way they are dressed, and everything will make you enjoy this lesson. Okay, before going to this lesson, children, we will concentrate on the difficult words, but see the topic there or the name of the lesson, that is the Mr. Todd goes for a ride. Mr. Todd goes for a ride. So before going to the lesson, we will see the meanings of the difficult words in that lesson or story. Mole, M-O-L-E, mole, a small burrowing mammal. Burrowing means which keeps digging the mud, and from there it eats the insects. Mole, a small burrowing mammal. See this sentence, moles love to eat earthworms. So this mole, it loves to eat earthworms. Earthworm is its favorite food. Todd, tailless amphibian, common name for certain frogs. So todd, they look like frog, but they will be bigger in size. They will be bigger in size. Toads have drier and rougher skin. They look very big and they have drier and rougher skin when it is compared to the frog. Warmly, W-A-R-M-L-Y, warmly, to show friendliness. To show friendliness means you be very friendly. My mother welcomed my friends warmly. When your friends come home, your mother always welcome them very happily, isn't it? So that is called as warmly, to show friendliness. Silly, S-I-L-L-Y, silly, foolish, something that is foolish. It was a foolish belief. Some of the beliefs. So we believe some things, sometimes we feel it is very foolish. Rowing, R-O-W-I-N-G, rowing, activity of moving the boat. Many of you might have observed, if you have to move the boat, then you have to row it. So it is a process which will help the boat to move. So see here, we can cross the lake by rowing the boat. If you want to cross from one side of the lake to the other side, then what you have to do? You have to row the boat. If you don't row, then it will be stagnant there. So rowing, we can cross the lake by rowing the boat. Rowing. Stable yard. You all might have listened to this word, children, that is stable. Stable is a place where the horses are kept. Then what is this stable yard? Stable yard means a place where horses stables are connected. Means you will have a big area, large area where many horses stables will be kept, or it will be connected to each other and it is kept, where many horses can be kept. So that is called as a stable yard. There is a big stable yard near my house. There is a big stable yard near my house. See now, one more example I will give here. When there are horses which are taken for the race course. So there you see the horses will be kept there in a large area. So that is also called as a stable yard. Means a large area where you have many stables and many number of horses are kept there. Is it clear, children? So what you have to do here is, all the words I have pronounced, you read it, see my examples, see the meanings, and you should keep on reading, because all these are the words from your lesson. So you have to keep on reading. I will read it once again. M-O-L-E, mole, T-O-A-D, Todd, W-A-R-M-L-Y, warmly, S-I-L-L-Y, silly, R-O-W-I-N-G, rowing, S-T-A-B-L-E, stable, Y-A-R-D, yard. See the next set of words. Bright, B-R-I-G-H-T, bright, shining, something that shines. The stars are bright at night. They shine very brightly. Carriage, cart for carrying people or goods. C-A-R-R-I-A-G-E, carriage. I like to take a ride on horse carriage. So when you go for the tour or trip, if you see the horse carriage, you feel like going a ride on it. Excitement, E-X-C-I-T-E-M-E-N-T, excitement. Enthusiastic or eager, you feel very excited, eager, you feel very happy. Visiting a zoo is a great excitement to children. When you visit to a zoo, you really feel very excited. That is what is called as enthusiastic. Drove, it is the past tense of drive. Driving a car. When you drive a car, you tell driving. So this is a past tense. The driver drove the car very fast. It's a past tense. Fellows. Fellows means it may be a man or boy. If somebody is with you, you can tell him as a fellow, a man or boy. The little fellow ran into the street. The little fellow, it can be referred as a boy. The little fellow ran into the street. Greeted, to receive or welcome. See the sentence here. My friends greeted me happily. Maybe after a long leave, when you go to school, all your friends will be happy to see you, isn't it, children? So they receive you, they welcome very happily. That is called as greeted. Either you shake hand or sometimes you give a hug. All this is also called as greeting. Beautiful, pleasing, something very beautiful to see. You feel very pleased when you see such things. See the sentence here. Rose is a beautiful flower, isn't it? When you see the rose with different colors, you feel they are very beautiful and you feel happy or pleased. So that is called as beautiful. The next set, all these words are there in your story. Sped, S-P-E-D, sped. It's also the past tense of speed, moving fast, speed. A car sped down the hill. It went very speed down the hill. Upset, U-P-S-E-T, upset. You get disturbed, you get irritated, you don't feel happy. That is upset. Children get upset when they are avoided to watch television. So you enjoy watching television, isn't it? When your mom, dad, if they tell, just switch off the TV, you get upset, you get disturbed. Ditch, any open passage. So it will be dug or because of the rain, you see ditches, isn't it, children? In rainy season, we get to see ditches. It will have muddy water or the mud will be very slushy, slippery. That is called as ditch. Interest, I-N-T-E-R-E-S-T, interest. Give attention. When you involve a lot, when you see the movie, isn't it? On television, when you are seeing a movie or when you are seeing your favorite program, you show lots of interest. You give so much attention. That is called as interest. The interest of children must be encouraged. When many children, they want to practice dance, singing, do drawing, that is also all called as your hobbies, where you show so much of interest. In such case, the children must be encouraged. But seeing too much of television will be not encouraged. Okay, next one. Glorious, G-L-O-R-I-O-U-S, glorious. Something you enjoy, enjoyable. It makes you to enjoy that situation. Our house has a glorious view of the river. If there is a river nearby your house and when it is filled with water and the flow of the water will make you enjoy it. So what will you do? Daily you would like to stand and view that, see that. That is called as glorious, enjoyable. Sight, sight is a view, S-I-G-H-T, a view. A view means something that you see, that is a view. Joke Falls is a beautiful sight. when you stand there in front of Joke Falls, many of you might have visited it, especially in rainy season. So when you go there and stand there, you feel like standing there itself, because that sight is very beautiful. That view is very beautiful. You feel like spending a lot of time there. So these are all the interesting words in the lesson. Magnificent, extraordinary. The Himalayas look magnificent. Even if you don't go there, but you see the pictures of Himalayas on television, or you might have seen it in the magazines, books or anything. Really it is a magnificent look, because it is the peak which is really a extraordinary one, isn't it? We cannot even think and imagine about that. It is such a beautiful one. Complaint. Reason for complaining. So you go and complain somebody when you are getting very irritated in the class, or about your friend or some boy or a girl in the class, when you are getting very irritated about them. What is this complaint? This complaining, if you write it on a paper, or you write it in a sheet or a small paper or anything, it is called as a complaint. Children made a complaint to the teacher. They went and gave a complaint to the teacher about the students who are disturbing. Wonderful. Wonderful. W-O-N-D-E-R-F-U-L. Wonderful. Great. Excellent. So your teacher may tell you in the class, or your dad or mom, when you get good marks, or if you draw very beautifully, or if you sing well, you have done a wonderful job. You have to continue it, keep it up. So that is called as wonderful. You did a wonderful job. Hopeless. Without hope. You should never be hopeless. So when you do some act which is not agreed by everyone, that time also they may tell you, you are a hopeless person. But the meaning here is when there is no hope, you don't want to expect anything. You don't have any hope. So that is hopeless. We should never be hopeless. Whatever work you do, you should have hope that you will be completing it, you will be successful. You should be never hopeless. Okay, these are all the words, children, which are there in your story. When you read, you can just refer these words once again.